I'm just driving around trying to keep people from getting motion sickness from the camera.
Where are you from?
Spokane, Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you going to park for the Zoom call, or are you just going to keep driving around?
I'm at the dump, so I've got 3 guys waiting for me to get back, so I'm just going to do this, and I'm at least on the right time zone this time, so it's working out well.
Oh, okay. Do you have property management or properties or?
Construction and properties. So.
Okay. How many properties do you have?
I am on my 3rd, working on my 4th.
Nice. Nice. Yes. How's that going?
This is my 2nd go round, so this is a little different. Last time I got into it, I ran into a guy that was a private money guy. So it's kind of like, oh, I have 100 grand. Do you want to buy this house? So that was nice, but expensive. And now it's a different market. I'm busy with construction, so I'm trying to phase out of that into picking up properties and then, using them for their development potential. So I like it. I just bought my 3rd one last year, and now it's kind of like, okay, well, now working on my 4th, and then I have a 5th coming up after that. So we'll see.
And you're using them to fill them, or you're looking to flip them as soon as you're done, or?
I'm a real slow flipper. I'm going to take these off real quick. So I flipped, there we go. I flipped like one that I bought on Friday and Wednesday, but most of the stuff I've kept a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not interested. Like, I bought one that I don't really want to keep, but I'll probably plan on finding a long-term tenant who wants to lease option it from me. And then I try to get those tenants where I'm, 3 years down the road, I'm like, oh, do you want to check out my other property? And then upgrade them out of that. So I like to create properties that I don't have to spend a lot of time maintaining.
Right. Definitely.
So I'm not at a point where I need the property management, but I'd like to be at that point, and I want to make sure when the time comes, I'm set up well. So
definitely, for sure. So I'll go ahead and jump into it. So we are just discussing how to keep properties at 98% occupancy. A lot of that here, I think, falls on what we do surrounding our tenant relations program. To be honest, if we don't treat our tenants well and help them take pride in where they live, show that we take pride in where they live, I think they're less likely to want to stay. They're less likely to treat the property nice and keep it in a condition that they would want to stay in. So a lot of that starts off with our tenant screening and just making sure we have the right fit in the property initially. Of course, I mean, that's probably like for you, you want tenants in there that aren't going to have major damages when they leave, and making sure that they're paying their rent, so on and so forth. So our tenant relations program kind of starts at the very beginning. We do a 5-day walkthrough as soon as we hear that a tenant's looking to move into a unit or a property, just to make sure that the conditions are move-in ready. Sometimes if a unit sits vacant for a while, there can be additional cleaning or maybe some issues that were missed. So it just starts there, making sure that they're happy with where they're moving into, as far as making sure it's all cleaned and all of that good stuff. And then putting together like a welcome packet. So we have a folder. In that folder, it includes their signed lease in case they need to reference it, as well as any contact information, how to reach maintenance, how to reach the office, how they can pay their rent. Just basically very important details for making monthly transactions seamless. And so I think that goes a long way, just really setting the expectation and letting them know what they can prepare for when they're working with us. The next thing that we do is we work with AppFolio, which is our property management platform. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. I think there is a required amount of properties for you to sign up with that, but we do a lot with AppFolio. AppFolio already pushes like happy birthday notifications to tenants via email. And we just take it a step further. So we work a lot with virtual assistants. Our virtual assistants, we've tasked them with putting together a kind of a brochure where Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we push information. So Monday is Money Saving Monday. And so we send just different tips and tricks on how to save money. It could be, you know, making sure that you have blinds and curtains up to help, you know, the outside air from coming in, save on your electricity bill. It could be, you know, like a grocery shopping tip or turning off the lights, some things that may be obvious to some people, but it's just kind of just like a tip just to help people out. And then Wednesday is Workforce Wednesday. And this idea kind of came out with the pandemic. So when we started dealing with COVID, we were pushing resources like crazy. We were pushing any information we received, any funding that we knew about, any cities that were offering assistance, just any information that we had as it was available. And so Matt says, we need to take this a step further and start doing this more than just during the pandemic. So that's how we created these Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you know, notifications and emails. So Wednesday is Workforce Wednesday. So we were pushing notifications or job postings in the area, anything that was hiring, just to keep people employed. And again, we care about more than them just making sure they get rent to us. And then Friday was Family Friday. So we were pushing local events in the area. We were pushing just, it could be anything related to family. It could be, you know, special deals that we know about or information like that. So it's taking this communication a step further and trying to compile this information and resources so that tenants have it, not just as it regards to getting our rent. And I think that's very important. The other thing is our follow-up. If a tenant has a work order, you know, we want to make sure that we're addressing it as soon as it comes in. You know, we may not have a schedule or something like that lined up, but just reaching out to them saying, hey, we've received your work order and we're working on it. I think that just reassures people that we're just acknowledging that we have it and we're working on it. So that's really important as well. Maintenance, that's a big deal. I'm sure you've gotten those calls from your tenants where, you know, they get home from work and something's breaking or going wrong, and that's literally their worst day. So in maintenance, you're experiencing everybody's worst day. And so it's just to offer that reassurance that we're working on something, we have received it, it's not gonna just sit here, and we'll get somebody out as soon as possible to address it. So I think that's very helpful. And then also following up when a work order has been closed. So we've sent a maintenance technician out, they've completed the work, just following up, just, hey, is everything working okay? Did it, you know, meet your expectations? We try to be careful with that because I don't want to open up a whole new can of worms, and now we have constant maintenance issues coming up as a result of us checking in on one of them. So that has to be worded very carefully to make sure that we're not doing that. But then I think that kind of goes back to setting that expectation at the beginning. There are just certain things we will and won't do as part of a property management maintenance, and letting them know that. So that's kind of helpful. And then also we have about 1,300 units that we currently manage right now. And so we are the largest at what we do in our area. So we've taken kind of our volume and used it to partner with area businesses. There's actually a moving company right across the street from our office that we've contacted and say, hey, what kind of coupons can we offer tenants as like a move-in special? It's just kind of part of tenant retention. There's the groceries. We've done coupons for moving trucks. We've done coupons for furniture, things like that. Just looking into different ways we can partner with the community to get tenants good deals on different items.
I think that goes a long way and says a lot. Again, we care about more than just receiving their rent. We want to be a part of, you know, them bettering themselves and their situations, and trying to help them get into the place that we're getting for them. So that's been really helpful. I also think that preventative maintenance is helpful. Again, it goes back to this pride thing. You know, if they know we're going to be out doing property inspections, they know that we're making the time to make sure that they know where stuff's at, and they know how to change out their furnace filters, and they know, you know, we're going to be taking a look around. I think then people start to kind of clean up their act a little bit. They take better care of the property because they know we take pride in it, which is why we're out doing the frequent inspections and preventative maintenance type work. We can document any kind of, you know, bad conditions that we see, things like that. Are you currently using any of those in your property management?
No, my property management is pretty much casual. It's me directly to them at this point in time. Will I scale up? Yes. Do I want to switch over? Yes. I'm at the point where both business and personally, I'm setting most of my systems in place. So
Okay.
as my current construction business grows, which will handle all my maintenance, I'm setting up systems like, you know, when you have a maintenance request from my current tenants, you email me. You send it to not my personal address, you send it to your, so not something that's earth shattering, but something that will be able to be switched out or scaled when that time comes.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Are you working with anybody to manage your properties, or you're doing all of that on your own?
No, I've just got the 3. So for me, it's not a big issue.
Right.
So, I mean, it's really like, they'll call me and say it's something, then I'll send one of my guys by or whatnot. It's pretty small. Do I want to keep it that way? No. I mean, everything I'm doing, I'm trying to have it where I offload all my tasks to other people. So I'm changing that. So.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. I'm trying to think of some more ways that I made a couple of bullet points to touch on. And again, I just think it goes back to how we're treating the tenant. I do have another thing is, so when my girls or my staff are calling regarding rent collection, and then we get those, you know, notes from people, hey, my dad's in the hospital, or, you know, I'm having this issue or that issue, just making a note and setting themselves a follow-up reminder, just to, again, when we call back and say, hey, you missed your promise, hey, what's going on? We can check in on that hardship. How's so-and-so doing? How's such and such? Again, I find, you know, one of the biggest complaints from people is, you have no problem calling us about rent, but you can't call and check on this or check on that. And so I just think building that rapport and that relationship, and then having a consistent staff member making those connections and contacts with people, and they know if they need something, they can call in and speak with that person, is so important. And again, I can't stress enough to touch base more than just for rent. Because
you know, you're asking them for money, but you're still treating them like a human. So
right.
It's not, I'm only calling you about this. It's, we care, but we also care about this. So I hear
exactly. Just trying to help people out. You know, I fully understand. It's hard to be a tenant, just like it's hard to be a landlord. For sure. Have you experienced any crazy stuff going on with your properties during the pandemic?
No, most of my stuff's quiet. Everybody I know well enough to know where their work is. So I know how much time it's going to take for them to do things. And everybody was laid off for 2 or 3 days. And then it was, okay, now we're back to it. So my crew was laid off, but none of the people I rent to were laid off. So
okay.
For anything significant, there was a couple of days where things kind of got a little weird, and then it was fine after that. So
isn't that weird how it just, everything gets put on this stop, and then it's like, okay, now we can keep moving forward, and it's like.
I don't mean to cut you short, but I'm going to get out of the truck, and I don't want to waste your time.
That's okay.
So, okay, but I do appreciate you taking the time to talk today. How's that?
Definitely. Have a good day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Talk to you again soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello.
It's just me still, I think.
I think there's one person down there tuning in. Antoine, can you hear me? Okay, Antoine, I was kind of waiting for you to jump on, and that way if you had any questions or anything specific you wanted to go through, I have kind of included most of the bullet points and topics that I wanted to discuss as far as keeping your occupancy at 98%. So if you don't jump on here, then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Again, I'll just kind of give a quick recap if you are tuned in. So basically just pushing notifications, resources, information to tenants. And really the bottom line is just letting them know that it's more important than just collecting the rent. And it's about building those personal relationships and rapport with them. And yeah, that about